All right, Bilal, what was her aroma like? How was her aroma?
She smelled like a woman. It has been a long time, needless to say, yeah, to smell the fragrance. So she smelled good, even after a long flight.
Well, you definitely put the words in our mouth that the whole thing is weird. Why did you decide to do this?
For me, it was actually something I wasn't really interested in doing, and then she beat me up about it over and over again. So I think the trigger for me was that I didn't see like a couple that resembled us. I didn't see one. We're both Muslims, born and raised, and I didn't see another couple who were both Muslim from the diaspora. Somebody who was from Trinidad, represented, and also somebody, who's African American, because typically you think Muslims, you close your eyes, you think
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, Middle Eastern. Mm-hmm. So to show that aspect, and then also to show that, hey, like, here's this guy. I'm not from the coast, Midwestern, from the inner city, and had some successes, had a lot of failures as well, and some successes after that. And to say, like, man, like, this guy, if he could do it, he made it and became successful in his own right, then maybe I can too. So it was another way to kind of showcase that as well too.
Shaeeda, how did you first find each other?
Bilal and I, we met online through social media, so I always, people say a lot of scary things happen on social media. I always give social media credit because, yes, you can have some crazy characters, but at the same time, there's also people who are seriously interested in finding love.
Well, you hit pay dirt. He's super cute. He's super cute.
Well, you said the volume was cutting up. No.
Matt, it's unbelievable that you're starting your 9th season on this show. I mean, it's just incredible. Why does this continue to resonate with viewers?
Well, people like Bilal and Shaeeda, I mean, they want to follow, I think, real love journeys. When we first developed the show, we wanted to do something totally different. I'm a huge fan of other shows that are constructed reality shows out there too about love, but we wanted to do something completely different and tell real stories. And I think it's the authenticity. It's like it really comes through when you watch this show. And as you started this by saying, Lynn, I know you're joking, saying he's like a contestant or whatever, but it's like this show is, we are following real journeys. These are people that we've not put anyone together. They found each other, and they want to watch someone's love journey. And these are journeys that are risks, right? Like we all can connect with, the idea of finding the one and finding love. But people on this show are really, they're taking a risk. They're going outside their comfort zone. They're looking for people that are part of a different, culture, a different country. Many times they don't speak the same language. And so those obstacles exist. But at the end of the day, there's hope there, right? Like we are hoping that this works out, and we're following these journeys. And I think people, love watching them.
Brooklyn, for those who are watching, who have not ever tuned into this show, and it's their loss, explain how it works.
It is their loss.
It is.
So, I mean, first of all, I love casting this show. It is so incredible to see two people from across the world find each other. And like Matt said, it is an incredible risk. And, one thing I do look for are, charismatic, relatable couples, which is super important because we want to root for these couples. We want them to make it through the 90 days. And, I think what's so captivating about this show, and Bilal said it during that scene, is like, I've only spent 6 days, with each other physically. And it's been so long since they've met. So I think that's just captivating in itself. And all of those firsts that you're going to watch throughout the 90 days is fantastic. And so that's why I think everyone should watch it.
And Brooklyn, explain what the 90 days actually means.
So these couples, they go through a long, extensive K-1 visa process that can take up, before COVID, 10 to 12 months. during COVID, it's now 2 years and many delays. And once the foreigner lands on American soil, when the visa is approved, they have 90 days to get married. And so it's kind of a test on their relationship. And that's what's so exciting about this show.
Hey, Matt, how do you find these people?
Well, you're looking at the person that finds them, right? They're Brooklyn and her department. They're incredible at finding people, and they do everything. In the beginning of this series, I think we were confronted with the idea of like, how do we cast a show about people that are going through this process, this K-1 process? And it was originally, our first move was we're going to contact immigration lawyers who, you know, may or may not have clients that are interested in participating in the show. We found some people that way. But Brooklyn and her team, they make a lot of phone calls. They're on a lot of websites. And, you know, and we're constantly looking to tell fresh new stories. I mean, as you said, it's season 9 of this show, and we've got other spinoffs and extensions to the shows as well. And we're trying to tell in every season. We kind of look at the board and we say, what countries have we been to? We have 3 new countries this season. We have, I think, 51. I looked this up. 51 total countries around the world where we had people from. We have 3 new ones. We try to tell different stories. And as Bilal said, you know, also different angles of stories, right? They're both Muslim. You know, that's very interesting. And so, but Brooklyn, going back to Brooklyn, her team, they do like an incredible job every season, surprising us, refreshing this series. And I don't think we've ever been accused of going to another season saying this is the same old stuff. Every season's surprising. Every season's new and different.
Well, the whole process of finding love is so intimate. It's so personal already. Why would you want to do it with a camera right in your face?
I was asking myself that too. You know, here's the funny thing about it is that, you know, after being in relationships and having heartbreak and, you know, my own personal battle going through depression, like, will you ever find love again? I think it was also a way to showcase that, hey, I'm not the only person that's been through some of these issues, and that who's to say like the person you're meant to be with has to live right down the block or live in the same city or the same state or even the same country as you, you know, that, you know, I never intended on finding somebody from another country. And, you know, and then when she reached out to me, it was almost like this magnetic, you know, just force that just brung us and tied us together. And I thought it was, you know, in hindsight, I said, you know, I thought it might be pretty good to be able to showcase the world this, because I know that there are other people out there looking for love as well.
Now, is it a spoiler, Matt, to ask if they're engaged or where they're at in their relationship?
It's a bit of a spoiler.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I won't ask if you're on your honeymoon. I have to tell you, though, that hug in the airport, it felt pretty freaking genuine. I mean, the way she hugged you, that was pretty awesome.
It was extremely awesome. I mean, because we went through a lot. We never thought that we would even probably hug again, you know, because, you know, as Brooklyn mentioned, like the K-1 visa process, not only, I mean, it takes a long time, but when COVID happened,
2 years.
it just extended it beyond like our capacity. Like it was many times where we were like,
should we continue?
Yeah, should we continue? Like, is this meant to be? You know, maybe we should give it another 3 months and see what happens. If not, you go find love somewhere else. And, you know, I do me, you know, and, you know, but luckily she got the call, you know, when that happened.
Brooklyn, have you kept up on the math? How many of the couples that formed on the show have stayed together? Do you have a better track record than The Bachelor on ABC? Let's just be honest.
You know, honestly, I think the couples on 90 Day are more likely to stay together because, like Bilal said, they waited 2 years. They've already gone through so much. Why break up now? You know, they've done so much to get to be together. So I don't know the statistic, but
you know, I looked it up.
Yeah.
I did my homework.
Good.
So this is an interesting fact. Sadly, the divorce rate in the United States hovers around 50%. 50% of couples do not make it. and we're well above. I mean, so far, knock on wood, our couples are well above 75%, which I think I think a lot of people, you know, sometimes watch the show and say, oh my gosh, like it's so hard, and you know, they're going way out of the box here and they're not going to understand each other. And I think that's what's one of the really amazing things about this show, is that there are different cultures, but this show's incredibly diverse. There are people that from all different backgrounds that are finding these connections and, you know, understanding, and through all of these obstacles, you know, and these incredible love journeys. And so, yes, I mean, you know, I was very, very happy and heartened to see that actually, you know, a great majority of our couples are staying together.
Man, I feel like this could go the distance. You can have this on TLC for many, many seasons. Are you feeling like, are you already spending your money 10 years from now? Beyond?
We're thinking about the next casting, right, Brooklyn? She's already worked, I mean, you know, and finding great stories to tell. And I think as long as we continue to do that, like, you know, I think it will continue.
All right. Well, thank you so much.